Two people, same career, same firm. One is 43. He was just promoted. One is 22. She cannot get in the door. This is not one story. It is payroll data on millions of workers. In the jobs where AI can already do most of the work, the most AI-exposed jobs, workers aged 22 to 25, are down about 13%. Workers over 30 in the same jobs are up 6 to 12% up, same career. Opposite fates. By the end of this video, you will know why, and you will know the one layer AI cannot reach. Everyone asks the same question: which jobs survive AI? But that question hides a mistake. A career is not one thing. It is a ladder. The bottom rung is routine work. The middle is judgment. The top is trust, licenses, and responsibility. AI does not attack a whole career. It attacks one rung. So in this case file, we climb the ladders of the highest paid careers: banking, law, consulting, software, medicine. We find which rungs AI is already doing, and we find the wall it cannot pass. First, what can AI actually do? Researchers built a hard test. About 1,300 real-work tasks from 44 office professions. Graded by industry experts. The best AI models matched or beat the experts on about 48% of those tasks, the finished pieces of work. Almost half, but hold on. A task is not a job. A job is many tasks, plus responsibility for the result. That difference sounds small. It is the whole story. So if AI wins on tasks, we should see damage exactly where jobs are most task-shaped. And we do. A Stanford team studied payroll records covering millions of U.S. workers. In the most AI-exposed jobs, workers aged 22 to 25 fell about 13% since late 2022. But workers over 30 in the same jobs grew 6 to 12%. Read that again. Same occupations, opposite directions. And this is measured employment, not a prediction, so the cut has a shape. AI is not slicing careers vertically, deleting whole professions. It is slicing horizontally, across the bottom. Take the clearest case, the investment banking analyst. An analyst is the first rung, the junior who builds financial models, drafts slide decks, and compares companies. Exactly the task class AI scores near expert on, and the banks say it out loud. Reports say Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, and Citigroup plan to hire up to 2/3 fewer junior analysts. AI absorbs that work. Bank leaders are on record. Some roles will no longer be required. But be careful with that number. Those are plans, not completed cuts. When those plans were announced, junior headcounts were still roughly flat. The rung is not gone, but it is in danger. But maybe banking is special. It is not. In law, the biggest firms hired their smallest group of summer trainees, the interns who become new lawyers, since 2012. And lateral hires now outnumber new graduates. A lateral hire means a lawyer hired away from another firm, not trained from scratch. In consulting, 22 of 24 top business schools placed fewer graduates into the field. In UK accounting, the 4 biggest firms, the Big Four, cut graduate hiring. KPMG by 30%. In tech, new graduate hiring at the 15 largest companies is down more than 50% from 2019. 5 industries, 1 pattern. The door is narrowing at the same rung everywhere. Now, what does that rung pay? This is the money at risk. A first-year banking analyst earns roughly $180,000 to $220,000, salary and bonus together. A first-year associate at a big law firm, the junior lawyer rank, starts around $200,000. A new graduate at a big tech company gets a total package of about $140,000 to $180,000. So the real headline is not jobs. It is the entrance. This rung is the entrance to almost every ladder that ends near or above $500,000 a year. But we have heard stop training them before. In 2016, Geoffrey Hinton, a founding father of modern AI, said people should stop training radiologists. Radiologists are the doctors who read medical scans. AI would outperform them within 5 years, 10 at most. A decade later, here is the scoreboard. Average radiologist pay, about $571,000, up 9% in a year. Thousands of open positions, taking about 4 months to fill. A shortage projected to 2055. the smartest man in AI was wrong. Hinton himself later clarified he meant the image reading task only. Which raises the real question, why did the prediction miss? Because the task was never the job. Reading a scan is a task. Being a radiologist is holding responsibility for the patient. And the top of every elite ladder is walled by things a machine cannot legally hold. A license, permission from the state to practice. Liability being the one who pays if it goes wrong. A signature. A client's trust. Only a doctor can prescribe. Only an attorney can sign a court filing. And in banking, no client moves $1 billion because a model said so. The managing director's name is on the deal. AI can draft the work, but someone must be accountable for it. Now we can name the hidden layer from the start of this video. Every career ladder has 3 layers: tasks, judgment, and the walled layer: license, liability, relationships. AI took the first. The law and human trust guard the third. But here is the twist that makes this unstable. Where do seniors come from? From juniors. Every managing director was once an analyst. Now look at the same banks planning those cuts. 62% of the people who run their AI started on that junior rung, the exact rung being cut. Follow the loop. Cut the first rung today and you have no one to promote tomorrow. Radiology already shows the ending, a shortage projected for decades. The machine is not just climbing the ladder, it is cutting the rung it stands on. If you are watching from Madrid or Berlin, your clock runs differently. The cut is fastest where AI adoption is fastest. At last count, 1 in 5 EU companies used AI. The US is ahead, Spain is moving slowly, same career, different clock. And the pay gap is just as wide. The middle US lawyer, the median, earns about $186,000. A UK lawyer's median is roughly a third of that. So your rung matters, and so does your country. So let's file the verdict. Grade the risk by layer, not by job. Banking, the analyst rung, high risk, the managing director low. Law document review high, the partner who signs low. Medicine, the reading task medium, the license layer low. Software, junior coding high, senior judgment medium. But keep the counterweight on the card. McKinsey, the biggest consulting firm, announced plans for about 12% more hires, tilted toward people who run the AI. So the rung is not simply vanishing. It is being rewritten. The job stays, but the tasks inside it change. So if you are at the bottom, your strategy changes. Do not compete with the machine on the old rung. Be the junior who operates it, the one whose work can be checked, delivered, and reviewed. Remember the 62%. The banks still need juniors, just different ones. And aim early at the walled layers. Work that ends in a license, a signature, or a client who knows your name. But be honest about who should not start climbing this ladder. If you are choosing banking or law only for the first rung salary, that rung is exactly the one under pressure. And if you need 5 quiet years of routine work to learn the craft, that quiet learning time is disappearing. This is an investigation, not career advice, but the map is real. So go back to the start. 1 is 43, just promoted. 1 is 22, cannot get in the door. They were never in different careers. They were standing on different rungs. So here is the rule to keep. Don't ask if your job survives AI. Ask which rung you're standing on. Case filed. Now think about your own career, or the one you are planning. Which rung are you standing on? And be honest, which rung could an AI do today? Tell us in the comments. We read every case.